Oh, okay. So I'm going to do my best to condense this message, but there are several things that I need you to really pay attention to and remember, because this is going to be how you're going to get through the next few months and actually the next 2 years, possibly. So I actually wrote it down because it was so much downloading that I want to make sure you guys get all of it. As always, they're always a continuation from the last message, but then also it builds. So they're like stepping stones. These messages are stepping stones to guide you through the current energies. So a lot of what I'm going to be sharing today is repetitive, but I want you to remember Spirit is saying, even though it may sound like it's messages that have already been said, we are in a whole new energy. So in essence, it's a new slate, and these messages should be listened to and taken in as new messages, because we are in a different timeline, and it's important that if you have not started implementing these messages, that you begin to as soon as possible. Now, with that said, it also is very important that you understand that it's not for you to implement these messages in a fear response way, in a hoarding way. It's in a mindful preparation, conscious awareness, elevating way that you need to integrate these messages. So with that said, we are going to be going into fall, and what Spirit's saying is that in the fall they're going to push a lot more of this new thing that's going around, the updated version of what's been going on for the last whole year and a half. And so they're going to try to say that this fall it's going to create a lot more people becoming I'm trying to be careful with my words here, but it's going to affect people a lot more because it's winter. So with that said, start stocking up. And when I say stocking up, again, be mindful. It's an awareness. It's not fear-based. It's not go hoard. But start really having a reserve for vitamin C, elderberry, and vitamin D. So you want to make sure that you have that available and that you have backup or extra in case family members might need it. And so if you prepare ahead of time, then you don't have to worry in the middle of, like, say you come to need it and then it's not going to be available because you're in the middle of it and everybody is pretty much buying it. So again, this is all in preparation for ahead of time. It's once again, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So it's precautions. Along with that, you also, once again, want to make sure you have clean water, clean drinking water. So if you haven't already started getting, water, either jug, the gallons, the 5-gallon ones, and having that, or bottled water, and having that stored, then start doing it slowly. So you don't want to go out and start getting like 20 cases of water because you don't want to create energy or sense of panic. Okay, you don't want to bring that awareness. You want to do it in slow increments, so that way everybody has an equal opportunity to prepare and have some available. Because remember, when we do this in a way where we're mindful and we are doing it in a way where we're watching each other or taking care of each other, then there's no panic, there's no fear, there's no anxiety created. So we want to do it in small increments until we have a supply that is comfortable for us and that we know we can, pretty much have a reserve for at least a couple of months. And that goes as well as, so the things that I'm going to be saying, you're going to implement what I just said. So wood or propane, that is also important. So know that you should have access to some type of fire. So wood or propane, and that's for cooking purposes or for warmth and or even for light. So candles, are essential. Pretty much the things that you would need, as I said before, in a situation of an emergency or camping. And I like to say camping because people associate camping with more of a relaxed time with Mother Earth. It's good energy, good vibration. So that's why I say, you know, prepare as if you're going camping, because you pretty much have everything like our ancestors used to live. You know, they used to live very simple life, but they had all the basic essential needs, like, you know, fire, water, food, and anything that you might need medically, like natural, you know, like I just said, you know, vitamin C's, elderberry, that sort of stuff. So start thinking about that along those lines. And then let's see. So I covered the vitamins, yes. Now, also, we want to include something that's going to help you relax in the event that, you know, things become very challenging for you know, humanity. So start thinking of things that mentally, emotionally keep you calm, keep you grounded. So you can implement things like, and these are just suggestions, do the research as to what works for you. So, you know, these are just, again, suggestions. So chamomile, St. John's wort, kava kava, and then there's also hape. I typically would not speak of hape or any of the sacraments that I work with, but Spirit is telling me that it's okay to speak into it. So if you don't know what hape is, please do some research or message me and I can give you more details. But it's in a short version is snuff that is it is a very sacrament medicine that you pray or meditate with. It comes from the indigenous community from either, you know, it's south, either Peru or Brazil. And the indigenous tribes make it so that it clears energy, it brings clarity to our thoughts, and there's, you know, a lot of healing that takes place because it's clearing karmic energy. And it's balancing the emotions. So it's a lot of heart medicine there, and it's very, very mild, where it just helps you really come back into your body. So it brings your spirit back into your body, but also keeps you connected to spirit world. So your intuition, your pineal gland is open, and it's allowing you to think consciously, but in a very calm way. So it gives that balance of spirit and earth. So those are just a couple of the things. Now, I was instructed to tell you guys, don't incorporate melatonin because it will stop your natural production, and it can interfere and actually cause for you to feel a little bit more drowsy or tired. So just allow your natural melatonin to take, you know, take you into that deep or the sleep journey, so that you have a sound sleep and you don't wake up feeling groggy. That's very important, because your rest is going to be important. And when we don't feel rested, it clouds our minds. It doesn't allow us to think clearly and, you know, take, make choices that are as you know, I guess as clear as it could have been if we had enough rest. Now, let's see. Very important. The seeds. If you did not start saving seeds from the beginning of when all this started, I'm going to remind you, it's important for you to start saving your seeds. I will share a link if I can remember which video it was, so that you can know a little bit more about it. But basically, because we may be going into shortages, and this is unfortunately going to be intentional, because they want to be able to control how much we buy, and, you know, through implementing control of our access to the basic essentials and needs, then that's how they convince people to do what they want. So when we prepare, and again, remember, it's about preparing ahead of time. And it's better to not have it, or to have it and not need it, than to need it and not have it. So make sure that you have seeds. And honestly, I do feel that for at least 2 years, it's going to take the community to plant our own food in order for us to get by. So start saving your seeds, because again, they know that in the winter, we really are not going to be able to plant our own food. So that's where the shortages are going to come in, because that's their way of trying to control humanity. But however, which brings me into the next thing, this is why fasting is so important for you to also implement and start really adjusting your body into the fasting, because then it's not going to be shocking to your system. And then also, if there are those shortages, then you're not going to go through this physical aches and pains that we go through if, say, all of a sudden we stop eating without preparing, without going into the understanding and allowing our body to recognize what fasting feels like. So start fasting. If you don't feel hungry, then don't eat. Eat only when you feel hungry, and eat less portions. That's going to help you get through not just the fall, winter, but it's also going to help you, as I said, maybe for the next 2 years, because we're going to have to eat less. We're going to have to really learn how to feed ourselves, basically. So learning how to garden, learning how to build something if you're in a place, and I said this before, that you don't have a garden, like a yard, then start building a little box. I forgot what they're actually called, but start building something where you can plant some stuff. And then let's see, the other thing that I want to touch on, is, if you guys know, this whole thing started because of my passion and dedication and commitment to helping the children. And so Spirit is asking for you guys to remember to remain in a very peaceful, grounded way, so that your children don't suffer and don't become traumatized through this entire process, because there is going to be challenging times. But as a community, we will pull together and help each other out, and that's very important. So make sure that you prepare also for your children natural ways of doing things that it's basically taken us way back to our my times. I don't know, you guys are probably younger, some of my viewers are younger, but so start gathering like jump rope, coloring, painting, stuff like that, that if we need to be indoors for a while, that's going to help them. So game boards, stuff that if the internet were to be cut off, they're not gonna lose their mind or become depressed because they don't have access to internet. Because as you know, they've really pushed our kids to be I guess I can't think of the word right now, but they are pretty much think that they need to be on social media or do everything on a computer, or their life is no life, right? Well, we have to start teaching them that there are other things that they can do and that they're going to be okay. Start playing card games. So this is going to help stimulate their abilities of left and right brain. It's going to help them with their emotions and helping them not become depressed, but also it's going to help everybody. This is an opportunity for the parents to really connect with your children. I mean, this life has been about work, and we forgot how to be a family. So take this time and opportunity to be a family and to make time for your children, to guide them through this with love and compassion and understanding that they're feeling things too. And then also, there's games that they can play outdoors, basketball or, soccer, or for girls, hula hoops, or even guys, whatever. It's just get them to be active and moving and creative. And this goes for you guys too. I mean, as you teach them, you're going to be receiving some of that medicine as well. And, it is really going to help each other get through these times. So when you're building a garden, include them, because this will help them have a relationship, create that relation with Mother Earth, with their food, with teaching them how to take care of themselves and how to be self-sufficient. And that way this could never happen again. Like it's a teaching moment, and it's important for them to have this awareness and knowing of how to even how to plant food, and then the harvesting process, make it a beautiful process of being in gratitude for that which they helped make. So being mindful as we go through this next challenging few months is going to be very important for you to be very, very conscious in your choices, in your participation, because it's going to make all the difference. Even when it gets really, really challenging, you have to remember these messages. And this is why I said, even though it sounds like they're old messages, they're new messages, because we're in a new energy and everything is moving fast forward now, fast forward. If you guys are paying attention, as I said in the last message, there's going to be a lot of misdirection. Look, they're not here. Well, whatever the media is showing you, then know that's your cue. Something bigger is happening. So like right now, the step down in New York just happened today, this morning. So that is a diversion. Okay, so that's great, but there's something even bigger happening that they don't want you to pay attention to. So every time that the media is showing you something, know it's important to be aware of something else that's also happening simultaneously. So one last thing is there may be also shortages or the hikes, as you know, of the gas prices. There's going to be a time where I feel it's going to be important to remember, you know what, your vehicles are amazing, but we don't always have to go super far distances. We can be okay with walking to our locations and getting that exercise, getting sun. And then also the other option is start getting bicycles. So get bicycles. Make sure if you have bicycles that they're in working order. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, meditate, keep your relationship with the Creator, keep your prayers strong. The fasting, so start that slowly, because again, you don't want to create that shock in your body. And I also want to remind you guys that I am fasting every Friday morning, or starts Thursday. And so Thursday evening into Friday morning, 12 o'clock is when I break fast. So this is a good opportunity to do two things. Start preparing your body, teaching it how to fast, but also contributing to the prayer. And the prayer is for the collective, for the ascension, for everything that we're going through, so that it is done and over with very quickly, very peacefully, so that there's the least amount of destruction to happen, that everything just happens so quickly, and that God is able to have control of the situation, to where everything that we're prepared for pretty much is just not needed to be exercised. I just have to say it that way, because again, I have to watch what I'm saying, but I know that you guys understand what I'm saying. So let's say fall comes and none of this was needed. That's beautiful. Just know that the prayers were heard. It doesn't mean that, all this was for nothing. No, it's not that. It's that our prayers worked, and you have to remember that. So keep going with your prayers. And then as far as, I know I said that was the last thing, but things keep coming in and reminders keep coming up, and these are all important. And know that this might be one of the last videos for a while, because that's kind of what I'm feeling, because I feel like this is it. This is the video that you really have to really keep and replay and watch, because after this I feel like the messages are going to slow down or even taper off, and they're not going to be coming in as frequently, because we are moving full speed ahead. And so you have to really pay attention to this. So the last thing is, those who have received that, and those who have been around those people that received that, especially in a work environment where there's many, and say you didn't, and the proteins are being released, it is very important for you guys to take care of yourself. It is very important that you detox, and that you shed the things that are potentially affecting you. So what I heard from someone else. So this part is not being channeled. Okay, this is a share that I heard from someone else, and I'm just going to pass it to you guys, but do your own research. So and I'm probably not going to say it right, ivermectin and I'm not good with these words, proteolytic enzymes. So those two things are recommended to help with shedding that. So ivermectin and proteolytic enzymes. And then on my behalf, I've also mentioned this before, the Kambo. The Kambo is going to help with detoxifying your entire body, but it's also reproducing new cells by putting enzymes in your system, in your body. So it's a liver detox, but it's really clearing out all the lymphatic system, and then you're getting the enzymes put back into your body. So you're recovering, you're regenerating. I can't even say, I'm speaking so fast. I'm sorry. I'm just like channeling. I'm trying to not make it too long. But you are essentially creating a whole new version of your physical body with Kambo. And it takes time, but if you are committed to this type of treatment, then it is amazing. It is amazing. And that also comes from, the Peru, Brazil, the Amazon, basically. All right, that is it for now. As always, I love you guys. We got this. God wins. Community, all of it. Just remember all of it. And if we break off in communication for a little while, if it's a few hours, a couple of days, it's all good. It's all good. We prepared, we are protected, and we will continue our building our community and our relationships with each other, and just helping each other through these times. Aho.